Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, today we are absolutely shattering the illusion of the AI neo-god. We hear so much about algorithms just miraculously generating masterpieces and code out of thin air, but we are cutting right through that marketing hype today. We're going to discover how to build truly deterministic pipelines. We're talking from the bare metal of your computer's silicon all the way up to macro-level venture capital. As you'll see, true human authorship isn't obsolete, it's literally more vital than ever. Let's dive in.
So, here is our roadmap for today. We've got 6 parts: the FPU illusion, the exact ALU, the GUI dead end, Unbreakable PTY, the sovereign pilot, and finally, deterministic VC.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the FPU illusion.
Okay, notice the stark contrast here between two incredibly different parts of a computer's physical brain. On one side, we've got the FPU gambler. When this floating point unit runs heavy math for massive neural networks, it's essentially throwing darts at a dartboard to approximate the answer. It's incredibly fast, sure. But to hit that blistering speed, chip manufacturers literally burn secret, proprietary seed tables right into the silicon. This causes what we call non-deterministic drift. Basically, you get unpredictable, slightly different outputs over time. But then, on the flip side, we have the ALU Surveyor. The arithmetic logic unit is exactly what it sounds like. It is strictly deterministic. 1 plus 1 is exactly 2 every single time.
And relying on this FPU gambler creates this devastating wood chipper effect. Because the math is just a guess based on hidden silicon approximations, the original data provenance, the true identity of the data, is permanently lost. If an AI digests copyrighted books or, say, critical financial records through an FPU, it's like a giant blender. You know exactly what fruits you tossed in, but there is absolutely no way you can reverse engineer that smoothie back into its original components. The chain of title is just completely obliterated.
Moving right along to Section 2, the exact ALU.
So by utilizing the mathematically exact ALU surveyor instead, we establish an undeniable, universally consistent ledger of facts right on the physical silicon itself. Because the ALU operates the exact same way on every single CPU on Earth, it totally restores forensic accountability. It deals only in exact truths. High voltage is a 1, low voltage is a 0. That's it. No secret seed tables, no dartboards, just a totally undeniable universal witness.
So now you might be wondering, how do we actually bridge the massive gap between our messy human intent and this perfect mathematical hardware without falling back on fragile guessing? Think about it. On one side, we have our human minds, beautifully messy, associative, full of abstract intent. And on the other, we have this rigid, cold ALU hardware that is completely blind to meaning. This is the massive semiotic bridge we have to build.
Which brings us to Section 3, the GUI dead end.
Here's the thing. If an AI tries to automate a click, and a web page layout simply changes its CSS or moves a button, the GUI's fragile screen scraping completely crashes. We are essentially forcing AI to guess what shiny button to press based on drop shadows and shapes. It drops us right back into a probabilistic guessing game. To bridge that gap safely, we have to bypass GUIs entirely. We need unbreakable TTY and CLI pipelines. The command line interface is lightweight, it's surgical, and it relies on 100% exact text logs, absolutely no visual bloat, and absolutely zero guessing.
Let's descend even further in Section 4. Unbreakable PTY.
This TTY and PTY pipeline is a direct, lossless wire straight into the machine's arithmetic brain. It operates just like the uncompromising electrical start-stop synchronization of historical teletype writers. Back in the day, a Markman current was flowing, and a space meant the current was interrupted. If you typed the letter A, the physical machine locked in the electrical state for an A. Well, a pseudo-terminal, or PTY, functions on this exact same uncompromising logic today. It provides an isolated, highly secure backend channel that transmits pure, explicit text characters without any visual mistranslation whatsoever.
And this is where a tool like GNU Screen performs absolute magic. It allows an AI agent's context loop to safely run persistently in the background. Imagine launching your AI agent into an isolated PTY channel. You give it an exact text prompt, then you can literally detach the session, slam your laptop shut, drop off your Wi-Fi network, and just walk away. Days later, you reconnect, and that agent is still running perfectly. Not a single character of data is lost. Contrast that with a web browser that refreshes and dies the second your internet flickers. It's a real game changer.
All right, Section 5, the Sovereign Pilot.
This is where you come in. As the sovereign pilot, you must actively seize the divine script, which is precisely formatted text, to command the machine. You're no longer manually rendering every pixel or writing every single syntax line. The AI acts as your digital scriptor, executing the mechanical sweat. But, and this is crucial, you maintain complete rhetorical control. You are enforcing strict human procatrition. That means you bend the output to your exact intent rather than settling for the machine's random distortion. Because honestly, if you let the algorithm just guess, you become a moral crumple zone, left to absorb the real-world liabilities when that machine inevitably hallucinates.
And finally, Section 6, Deterministic VC. Let's see how this scales.
Take a look at this stark dichotomy here between two vastly different funding philosophies. On the left, we have the extractive liquidator casino VC. This model treats founders like disposable lottery tickets. It prioritizes massive, unnatural scale and quick flips, leaving behind a wake of burned-out creators. But on the right, we have the legitimacy Vineyard VC. This model functions like a 10-year Vineyard. It's a deterministic inferencing publishing house acting as a true sustainable partner, focusing on compounding growth and fundamental value creation over an entire decade.
To actually make this 10-year Vineyard function, we need a flawless technical foundation. By natively unifying data and logic, we eliminate the chaotic mismatches of traditional software. And this is exactly where those exact text pipelines matter most. By using last-in, first-out JSON state trees, we only ever have to look at the very top layer, index 0, to instantly prove the absolute state of the system mathematically. Add in smart Pythagorean scaling that transitions continuously without crashing, and this deterministic inference publishing house acts as a legally engineered protective shell. It actively shields founders from the hostile 250,000 patent thickets that are just crushing creators today.
So, we've traversed all the way from the unyielding arithmetic logic gates in your silicon chips, through the unbreakable TTY and PTY text streams, straight up to the protective shell of a 10-year venture Vineyard. The Semiotic bridge is officially built. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you rely on the lossy guesses of a casino? Or what unbreakable reality will you, the sovereign pilot, choose to orchestrate today on mathematically exact bedrock? Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and keep building.